The situation unfolding right now is one that has captured the attention of many Nigerians, both at home and abroad, and it is centered on security, leadership, and responsibility at a very critical time in the country. The discussion started gaining serious momentum after strong statements linked to former military leader Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, popularly known as IBB, began circulating, urging President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to take decisive action against Sheikh Ahmad Gumi over his perceived role and comments regarding bandits. Since then, the issue has refused to die down, and people are talking everywhere, online and offline. As you listen to this gist, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because we bring you well-explained stories like this every time. What many people are reacting to is not just one statement or one person, but a long-standing frustration about insecurity in Nigeria. For years, communities have suffered from attacks, kidnappings, and fear, and many Nigerians are emotionally tired. So, when a well-known cleric like Sheikh Gumi speaks about bandits in a way that some people interpret as understanding or sympathetic, emotions rise quickly. Some Nigerians believe that at a time when citizens are being hurt, no public figure should appear to explain or soften the actions of armed groups. Others, however, feel that understanding the roots of violence is not the same thing as supporting it. This is where the argument becomes deep and complicated. Those calling for action argue that words are powerful. They say that when influential voices speak, their words can shape how criminals feel and how victims feel. In their view, statements that appear to excuse banditry, even indirectly, can damage national morale and weaken the fight against insecurity. They believe that if the government does not act firmly, it may send a signal that such talk is acceptable. As you're following this gist, please remember to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss important updates like this. On the other side of the argument are those who say dialogue has always been part of conflict resolution all over the world. They point out that talking to violent groups does not automatically mean agreeing with them. According to this perspective, the goal of engagement is to reduce violence, save lives, and bring lasting peace. They warn that silencing voices that try to explain why conflicts happen could push problems deeper underground rather than solve them. This group believes the focus should be on actions, not just words. The mention of IBB's name added more weight to the conversation. As a former leader, his opinions carry historical and political significance. Many people see his reported stance as a call for firmness and authority. They believe Nigeria has reached a point where strong decisions must be taken to restore confidence in the state's ability to protect its citizens. Others, however, question whether focusing on one individual will truly address the larger problem of insecurity, which involves poverty, weak institutions, and long-standing regional challenges. President Tinubu now finds himself at the center of public expectation. People are watching closely to see what direction his administration will take. Some want investigations, some want arrests, and others want a clearer national strategy that combines security strength with social solutions. This is why the issue keeps trending. It is not just about Sheikh Gumi. It is about what kind of country Nigerians want to live in and how leaders should respond when public trust is under pressure. If you're finding this explanation useful, kindly like the video and subscribe to the channel to support our work. Public reactions have been intense. On social media, you see strong opinions on both sides. Some comments are emotional, driven by pain from personal or community experiences. Others are analytical, trying to balance law, freedom of speech, and national security. This shows how deeply insecurity has affected the national mindset. People want peace, but they also want justice. They want calm, but they also want accountability. Another important part of this conversation is the legal angle. Nigeria has laws that deal with terrorism and national security, but it also has constitutional protections for free expression. Where the line should be drawn is a question that lawyers and analysts continue to debate. This is why any action taken will likely be closely examined, both locally and internationally. It is not a simple matter, and any step taken will have consequences beyond the present moment. As this story continues to develop, one thing is clear: Nigerians want to feel safe again. They want to trust that their leaders are acting in their best interest. They want to believe that no one is above the law, and at the same time, that the law is applied fairly and wisely. This balance is difficult, but it is necessary for national stability. Please remember to like this video and subscribe, because we will continue to follow this story closely and break it down in simple, clear English for you. One thing that must be clearly understood is that this issue did not start today, and it will not end quickly. What we are seeing now is the result of many years of fear, unanswered questions, and public anger that has been building quietly. When insecurity lasts too long, people stop being patient. Every statement made by leaders, clerics, and public figures then begins to carry extra weight. That is exactly why this particular matter has become so sensitive and emotional for many Nigerians. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because stories like this affect all of us. Many Nigerians are asking a very simple question in very clear English. If ordinary people can be questioned or arrested over statements linked to security matters, should influential people be treated differently? This question keeps coming up again and again. Some people feel there is a double standard in how authority is applied. They believe that fairness is the foundation of trust, and without trust, security efforts will continue to struggle. Others respond by saying that influence also comes with responsibility, and that influential voices should be more careful with their words during times of national pain. Another angle people are discussing is timing. The country is already dealing with economic pressure, social tension, and security challenges. Many citizens feel overwhelmed. In such moments, even words that may have been spoken with good intentions can be misunderstood. That is why some analysts argue that this entire situation is also a lesson in communication. Leaders and public figures must always consider how their words will sound to victims and grieving families, not just how they sound in theory. There is also the issue of trust in institutions. Some Nigerians say they are less interested in public debates and more interested in results. They want to see communities protected, schools safe, farms productive, and roads secure. To them, arguments about who said what mean very little if insecurity continues. This group believes the government should focus more on strengthening security systems, intelligence gathering, and community protection rather than public disputes. If this view makes sense to you, please like the video and subscribe, because we aim to explain these issues clearly and calmly. At the same time, there are people who believe silence can also be dangerous. They argue that allowing controversial narratives to go unchallenged can shape public opinion in the wrong direction. From this perspective, even if dialogue is necessary, it must be done quietly and carefully, not in a way that appears to excuse harmful actions. They believe clear boundaries must be set so that peace efforts do not look like approval of wrongdoing.